What's poppin', y'all? Welcome back to another YouTube video, and today we're taking a look at Rising of a Shield Hero Season 3. Yesterday we took a look at Season 2, and the day before that we took a look at Season 1. And at the time of me recording this video, there is only 3 seasons available for this anime, and I have reviewed them season by season over the course of the past 3 days. Today we're taking a look at Season 3, and Season 3 has 12 episodes, so it is the shortest season of the bunch. We seem to be getting less and less episodes as the seasons go on. Season 1 had a whopping 25 episodes, Season 2 had half that with 13, and this one has one less at 12, which isn't anything to scoff at. I do know there is a good few stories which can be told in 12 episodes, and it did scare me a little bit when I did see the episode count after watching Season 1, seeing how little episodes these 2 seasons had, and saw how much they tried to cram into Season 1. So it did scare me a little bit, but Season 3 does have 12 episodes, roughly around roughly around 20 minutes each, and you can easily watch that within 4 hours if that is something that you are interested in. Other than that, let's skip past what Google has to say, because we've already looked at it twice, and we'll go straight to the story. So how Season 3 starts is it is split into 2 different story segments, which is 6 episodes per each story, and the first story is a pretty interesting one, because it does follow our main heroes. They've just got back from their Japan sort of era, and they are going into a dragon hunt. Sorry, my bad, the dragon hunt was part 2. Part 1 is them going into an underground fight club and trying to buy all of the slaves, trying to buy all of the sort of demi-humans' freedoms. So they're going to an underground fight club. They make friends with their childhood protector, which is a orca, a killer whale human, and they sort of continue to play. They meet a murderous clown who also joins their team and gives them information, and then they buy a load of sort of demi-humans' freedoms. They get 2 tiger twins, which is the white tiger twins, and one of them is blind, one of them is ill. They heal her up all good and proper to make sure she can continue the fight and continue going, and then we have them sort of just continuing living in that area. They fight the sword guy, who is using his cursed sort of sword, and all the heroes go missing, and the sword guy joined a bandit group because he is greed and gluttony, and our shield hero is wrath, and he works out, hey, guess what, all of us are part of the 7 deadly sins, and they fight him, they beat him, and he joins the team, and because he used this curse power, whatever he touches starts to slowly decay. He slowly starts to earn everyone's trust in the village, and he helps them go fight a dragon, because they get a pet dragon, and it eats the gemstone which has the demon dragon from Season 1's soul in it, and it becomes the dad of one of the children. Don't ask how it works, it's a dragon, and I do believe it's Fox Child, but it gets explained later in a flashback. The Fox Girl's father actually gave the child up to the dragon because he was dying. And they fight the dragon, they beat the dragon. The dragon's, the dad dragon, his soul still remains inside the crystal and still inside the dragon. So there's 2 souls in one body, and then they go and fight the sort of bow guy who is also using his cursed abilities, and he is Pride, and they befriend him. They head back to the town, they head back to the village. The girl puts back on her kimono from the 2nd season, and then they get attacked by animal ninjas, and then they are preparing to go to war with the sort of ninja territory, and that's where this season really ends. So overall, I didn't really like this one. This season did feel a little bit boring and a little bit repetitive. They didn't really go anywhere, they didn't really travel anywhere, and there was this big sort of threat of this phoenix that was supposed to be coming. The queen constantly talks about this big phoenix coming to find them, and they have to go and find every single one of the heroes, and we did have the repeat of both heroes using their demon thing and the main heroes having to fight them. I did feel like that was quite boring, quite cheap, and very basic for a character story, because they did it twice, and both of them were in the same season. The Phoenix stuff also isn't getting answered. It kind of feels like it took a massive backseat, and then what took an even further backseat is the reason that they were brought there, which is to fight the waves. No one has mentioned a wave in so long. Season 2 didn't have them fight a single wave, and that was the whole reason they were taken there. That was the whole reason that they were there. We got to look at the main heroes in a little bit more detail though, and get a look at why they are sort of using their cursed objects, and they're starting to feel a little bit more like the main character, with everyone turning their back on them and being betrayed. What I don't get is the two smartest ones have been tricked by the bitch, and like, they've been tricked by her. Even though those two were the two which saw past her bullshit when she was first doing it to the spear dude. So I don't get how they can revert after learning that knowledge. It kind of felt like a step back for both of them. And I don't know how she keeps getting away with tricking these guys and just sort of making them believe that she's a good guy. It kind of feels like they have regressed and taken a step back, and some of the progress that they made in the first season didn't really happen. And it also gave us some sort of look at them in the real world and show how heroic they were, how sort of brave they were in the real world. And I liked that, getting to see them in the real world and getting to see some of the side characters take more of a center stage role and sort of get more sort of focus so we can see them develop is really interesting. However, we do have I'm going to say a good, like, 5 new characters to focus on that join the main group, which I think is fucking insane. To add 5 new characters all in one season to join the group in your shortest season, I think is wild. I think that shit is wild. We have 5 new dudes joining our main crew, and they all get pretty huge amounts of screen time, and they are all pretty important to the story. So I think they managed to balance it well, and they're definitely getting their footing in how to manage a story and try not to rush through it. But I do believe they need to stop sort of dropping hints to what's coming next, because that Phoenix stuff could have been skipped. Like, all that talk about the Phoenix wasn't needed, because it doesn't do anything for the story. Yes, it gets our main character looking for the heroes, but it's like, oh yeah, this Phoenix thing, it's coming. It is coming. We promise it's on its way. Don't worry, it's just around the corner. No, it isn't. It's like 4 or 5 months away. And this season takes place over 3 months. So it feels like we've gone through a lot of time without actually needing to worry about this Phoenix character, this big Phoenix demon. And now we're heading off to war. We're heading off to war, which I think is a fucking huge step in the wrong direction. When you're supposed to be fighting and preparing to fight a demon, you're going to fight a war because you wore an outfit, which I don't really think you need to go start a war over that, but you know what, sure, go for it, Slay King. And I kind of feel like they are in the wrong here. Going to war over wearing a dress is fucking stupid, but I do agree that they do need to have a talking to. Maybe don't go straight into going to war, maybe try and have a little bit of a talk first, and just try some, like, peacekeeping exercises, you know? Try and communicate, articulate your feelings, and articulate the situation. You don't need to go in guns blazing, actually swords slashing, I think. I don't know how to put that in medieval terms. But what I don't like the look of is them going towards another sort of feudal Japan type area, because we had that in season 2, and one of my biggest sort of points for season 2 is what I liked about it was that it was them going to a different area that we haven't seen before, and seeing our characters in a different situation and a different landscape that we haven't seen. So seeing our characters go back to a feudal Japan type area, I feel like is a missed opportunity, because they could have made it literally like anywhere else, and it could have been like more interesting. Like, they could have gone to Greece, or they could have gone to Egypt type areas, something just a little bit different, maybe like a jungle type area, but no, we're doing Japan again. However, I did like the inclusion of the new characters. I did think it was a bold choice, as I said earlier, that they added in so many new characters, but tigers are some of my favourite characters. Favorite animals. I absolutely adore tigers, and we had a pretty big push for tigers last season as well. In season 2 there was quite a few white tigers last season, and they seem to be coming back again into this season. So this anime creator seems to absolutely love white tigers, and I think they're pretty cool. They're some of the best new characters being introduced, and I do feel like they have a lot of plot potential to be used in great ways as the story does progress, with them sort of having these new abilities, having the connection to the dragon vein, and being very important, like story-wise, in terms of them winning most of the battles that they do get themselves pushed into. And the tiger boy, he does remind me of that one kid from the Bongo Stray Dogs anime with the ability to change into a white tiger. That's just something that I noticed. I really like this anime, and I genuinely cannot wait for more to come out. I did expect it to be just your generic sort of isekai, where they go into a new area, go into a new world, a new place, and it'd be quite boring, quite basic, with like over-the-top sort of harem sexual themes, but it isn't like that at all. There is like very, very little fan service in this, which I do greatly appreciate. It shouldn't be something that you have to appreciate. I'm going to be honest, that isn't something that I should have to say, but I do greatly appreciate it in this anime, because if it did have fan service in it, I do think it would take away most of my enjoyment from the anime. So other than that, I think this is a really good anime, and I do think this one is a little bit worse than season 2, but I do think it's still better than season 1 in terms of pacing. So I do believe I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10, and I do recommend that you go watch it and check it out for yourself. But other than that, I hope you all enjoyed, and goodbye.